Welcome back. So we rejoin Scheherazade on the 30th night, as her tale continues. Now, if you remember, we left the young man hiding in the home of a Qadi, a judge, his romantic evening totally ruined. And outside, that insufferable barber has whipped up an entire crowd, convincing them that his master is being murdered. The chaos is literally at the front door.
And just imagine the scene when the Qadi finally opens that door. He's met with a furious mob, led by none other than the barber, who's shouting the most scandalous things you can imagine. He's yelling that the judge's own daughter loves the young man and that the Qadi is beating him for it. He's threatening to storm the house unless they release him. I mean, the public humiliation is just absolute.
Now, what's really fascinating here is how the Qadi reacts. He's totally ashamed, he's cornered by this mob, so he just turns to the barber and says, "Fine, if you're telling the truth, you come in and get him yourself." You can just imagine the pure dread the young man feels hiding inside when he hears the barber's voice echoing through the house. The one person he's trying to escape from is now being invited in to rescue him.
So as he hears those footsteps getting closer, the young man is frantically looking for a way out. There's nowhere to go. But then he spots it. His only hope, or so he thinks, a big wooden chest sitting in the corner. It's a desperate, last-ditch effort.
He scrambles inside, slams the lid shut, and just holds his breath, praying he won't be found. But you know this barber. He walks right into the room, barely even looks around, and heads straight for that chest, like he's got some kind of sixth sense. He doesn't even search, he just knows.
And without even a second thought, the barber lifts this massive chest with a whole man inside right onto his head and just marches out of the house. So now the young man isn't just discovered, he's being actively kidnapped by the very person he was hiding from.
Can you believe the audacity? So realizing he's being carried away in a box, the young man knows he has to do something drastic. As the barber is proudly striding through this stunned crowd, he throws the lid open and hurls himself out of the chest, landing hard on the cobblestone street.
And what's the price for that leap of faith? One broken leg. Yep, he's free from the chest, but he is definitely not out of the woods.
So despite the searing pain, he gets up and he just starts running. He's throwing handfuls of gold coins behind him, hoping to distract the mob. And for the most part, it works. People are scrambling for the money, but one person, of course, isn't distracted at all and keeps chasing him through the streets. You guessed it, the barber.
And as he's running for his life, this is what he hears being shouted from behind. The barber isn't just chasing him, he's giving a running commentary, congratulating himself on the rescue and blaming the young man for the whole mess. The irony is just, it's painful.
Finally, exhausted and in agony, the young man dives into a random shop in the market and begs the owner to hide him. And it's there, cowering in a back room, that he makes a huge decision. He cannot live in the same city as this man. His only chance for peace is to flee Baghdad for good. And this, he tells the caliph, is why he's here, and why seeing that barber again is like reliving a nightmare.
And with that, the young man's side of the story is done. It's a pretty compelling case, right? Just a tale of pure misery caused by one relentless, meddling guy. But, every story has two sides, so the caliph turns to the barber. And what we're about to hear is one of the most incredible defenses of all time.
So the barber stands up before the caliph and says, "Yep, everything that young man said, it's all true. But, and this is a huge but, he claims he did it all out of profound wisdom and foresight. He wasn't meddling, he was saving the young man from certain death."
His argument is just so bold. He claims his biggest flaw, his talkativeness, is actually his greatest strength. And to prove that he's actually a man of few words, he makes an amazing offer. He'll tell the stories of his 6 brothers, each of whom was ruined by his own foolishness, just to show how wise he is in comparison.
And here they are. He introduces his siblings not by their names, but by the physical results of their bad decisions. He's basically setting himself up as the quiet, wise hero in a family full of talkative fools. And he starts with the tale of his oldest brother.
His first brother, he says, was a tailor. One day, he's in his shop, he looks up, and he sees a beautiful woman in a window across the way. And that was it. He was instantly obsessed, and that one single glance started a chain reaction that led to his complete and utter ruin.
So this brother's obsession just made him the perfect target. The woman and her husband played him like a fiddle, making him work for free. They set up this cruel prank, making him think he was marrying the woman he loved,
only to tie him to a millstone and force him to work like an animal all night. Then they tricked him again, luring him back just so the husband could catch him, have him beaten and publicly shamed. And during this parade of shame, he falls off a camel, breaks his leg, and becomes lame for the rest of his life.
This is literally what the town crier was shouting as they paraded the poor guy through the streets, a public lesson for everyone. After all that, he was exiled from the city, and our barber, the supposed hero, had to take him in and care for him.
The Caliph, who is clearly entertained by all this, asks to hear about the next brother. The barber is more than happy to continue, launching into the even weirder story of his second brother, a guy named Hudar. And his story starts, like so many do, with an offer that sounded way too good to be true.
So one day, Hudar gets approached by an old woman who basically offers him paradise on a platter, an evening of pure luxury, amazing food, fine wine, and the company of a stunningly beautiful woman. The catch? There's just one rule. Don't talk too much. Keep quiet.
Well, of course he fails. Right away, every time he opens his mouth, he gets slapped. And then things get weird. They strip him down, shave off his beard, his eyebrows, everything. They paint his face red, and then the beautiful women of the house make him dance while they just bombard him with fruit.
And this isn't some playful game. They are pelting him with oranges and lemons so hard and for so long that he actually gets knocked unconscious. And the whole time, the old woman is just telling him, be patient, your reward is coming.
So when he finally wakes up, all bruised and sticky, the old woman gives him the final instruction. This is it, the moment he's been waiting for. The beautiful woman is going to strip naked and run, and all he has to do is chase her. It's the final, bizarre test to get what he wants. After being slapped, stripped, shaved, painted, and pelted into unconsciousness, you'd think he'd quit. But no, he agrees to this final test. He takes off what little clothes he has left and stands there completely naked, ready for this promised chase. And just as this naked, shaven brother is about to start his chase, Scheherazade sees the first light of dawn. And she goes silent. She leaves King Shahryar and all of us completely hanging. What on earth could happen next? We're just going to have to wait for another night to find out.